All right, so Zach.
Yeah.
Last time we did a talk, we chatted a bit about how you are a World Fitness Project affiliate.
Yeah, we did.
Are you still?
I'm not.
You're not.
No. I went through the full year to see what it was about, and then I canceled it. So
that's the whole story.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think that the vision for them was focused on the affiliates. I think that the focus was kind of the sport, and so I just was curious what they were going to do with the affiliates, and what that model looked like, and what it was going to do for potentially us as a gym. And so I saw it through for a year and realized that I think that their main focus is sport, and so then, I mean, we didn't really get anything out of it.
I mean, we kind of beat it up the other day, and did you get a single member, do you think, from that?
No
members.
No one's ever come in to say that they're coming in from the WFP. Now, I mean, 10 years from now, if things change, I don't know, maybe someone would, but in the last year, we didn't get any members from it. Like I said, I think that they were trying to grow the sport, and I think that they just did a lot all at once.
Well, he said as much on that. Did you watch the Froning podcast?
I did.
Yeah, he legit said that the North Star is sport.
Right.
And that he all but admitted that there was zero value in being an affiliate to the extent that they're not doing them anymore.
Yeah, and I think that what he said was honest on what he meant.
It's honest, but dude, imagine dating a chick for a year and the whole time it's like, yeah, I really didn't care about her at all. It's kind of how I would feel if I were a WFP.
I mean, I think that if people look at the CrossFit model and they said, hey, we're trying to grow this brand, and then we have affiliates, and now HYROX has affiliates, and CrossFit has affiliates, and if you have members that need to go, if you want to have people to come to an event, you need spectators, and the spectators that are going to be watching the WFP are in CrossFit gyms, and so it makes sense to try.
That's what he said.
Yeah, so it makes sense to try to affiliate, but there's no benefit in being an affiliate if you enjoy CrossFit and you want to be a spectator at a CrossFit event, whether it's WFP, Mayhem Classic, Wadapalooza, or the CrossFit Games. Then you can just go and spectate those events without being affiliated with.
What's your overall feel for the World Fitness Project at this point, outside of the affiliation, as a CrossFit affiliate owner?
I'm not sure what it looks like in long term. I think that
no one is. That's fair.
Yeah, and so I think that if you're trying to mirror something that's already been done, it's really hard to achieve that.
So you're saying they're just CrossFit but different? You said mirror.
Yeah, so it's like you and I have spoke before about HYROX. HYROX is completely different than CrossFit.
But Will said that it's the same.
Right, and
Did you hear that part? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, so...
and Orange Theory and F45, it's all the same. It's all CrossFit.
Yeah,
it's no, Will, it's not.
And no one's tried to... I could be wrong, but no one's tried to duplicate Orange Theory. No one's tried to...
I have.
Have you?
Yeah. I think I kind of do it a little bit. I love zone training.
Yeah. But you haven't tried to start a franchise business side by side and call it something different.
Correct.
And so Orange Theory kind of stands by themselves. I think CrossFit kind of stood by themselves for a long time, and now people are kind of seeing the lucrative side of what could potentially happen.
With what?
If they host an event and they see millions or... I think over the years... You think
that's what these World Fitness Project folks see? They think they see the potential of having millions within their event? Because I've heard that every one of these big events just loses their butts.
Yeah, I mean, on napkin math, maybe it sounds good. I mean, if I wrote it down...
Here's the deal, dude. They're so we need to get butts in seats. We got to sell tickets. And I'm like, I don't think anyone cares about ticket sales.
Yeah, and I think that's...
If anything, it's about what you can sell once the people are there. That's why when you go to the Wrigley Field, you buy $10 beers and $20 hot dogs.
Right.
As baseball games. And yeah, sure, there's $30,000 in tickets every time. But also, it's how much can you make a $100 butt seat ticket extend. What is it? They call it. They have a word for it in an affiliate. Like if your membership's $150, oh, good, the members are $150. But also when they buy a shirt a month,
yes, your average revenue per member
$175. Right. So I think about World Fitness Project, and I'm thinking, what are they selling at these events? Nothing.
Right. I think that if everyone is hosting similar things, the spectators just kind of get spread out throughout all these different events. So if some of them are going to the CrossFit Games, some of them are going to Wadapalooza, some of them are going to World Fitness Project, some of them, eventually you're going to have a little bit across the board. So each event
a little bit of what?
People. Like each event is going to get smaller and smaller.
There's not that many people. And honestly, I don't think they want to watch these people work out that much.
No, I don't think that people want to watch people work out that much. That's why in the past the CrossFit Games were so popular, is because you only got to see these people work out a couple times a year.
But no, it's additive, dude.
Yeah, and so now
Will said it's additive.
Right. So now we're adding to it. So I think that I just don't see how it's going to succeed unless the people who aren't competing want to watch them more. And there's something different. You know, like people need to want to watch CrossFit and fitness competitions.
Dude, I was just watching spin the other day, the barbell spin. I was talking about like the regionals. It was kind of the overarching theme of the open report that Tyler Watkins put out.
Right.
And think about like Fikowski not making the games or Sam Briggs not making the games. It's a point that they made that like there's just the Sam Briggs not making it is more potent a story than anything they could have tried to thread together from World Fitness Project.
Right.
And like that's what it's all about. The story behind stuff like that.
Yeah, and people,
it's impossible to fight. They can't win.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's really hard because that's who you're competing with. You're competing with the same people that watch CrossFit or the same people that watch the WFP or the few that do. And then
but if Will goes to an airport and he sees somebody, he won't use CrossFit to describe what World Fitness Project is.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I mean,
he's been to a number of airports as well, dude. Like,
right.
Probably more than you and I combined this year.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's just something that we've run into over the years is we used to have fun describing what CrossFit is, and now most people know what it is, and everyone has their opinion about what it is. And so it's part of our job to describe to new people what CrossFit is and why it's different.
How do you describe it to someone who's never heard of it? Let's say you're at a hot dog stand. Someone's like, nice shirt. What does that mean?
I haven't ran into someone.
I don't care whether or not you have. I want to know figuratively what would happen if you could.
What would I tell them?
Yeah.
I would dumb it down.
Please. Do it.
I mean.
Hit me with it.
I think the last time we were on the podcast, I said it's kind of like a fitness program made for my grandma to where she can pick things up, hold things above her head, walk across the room, get up off the couch. And then the people that come into the gym, we make it a little bit harder than that. And we add weight. So we squat. We carry kettlebells across the room. You know, grandma needs to carry in the groceries. We train that in the gym. And I just dumb it down to where it's very functional.
Do you think that's how Will explains it to the people in the airport?
No, because he's also trying to describe a sport.
So what do you think? What do you think he would say in the airport to the person?
What do I think he should say?
No. I want to know what you think he does say.
I think he says it's a CrossFit competition.
No, but he said he doesn't.
I know, but I'm saying like
you just think he was lying.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's the easiest way to sell a product if the product's already been created.
So Pete, you think Burger King says we're McDonald's, but different?
I don't know which came out first.
I don't either, but that's the example I got for you.
Right.
Let me see. What do I think Will says? We do burpees and different fitness modalities for time. Like
that makes no sense to someone.
I know, but like, how do you describe? This is so when people would walk into my gym way back when, and they'd like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" If there wasn't a class going on where I could just like point to it and say, "That's the coach. They do these things. Look at they're being brought through this warm up for this thing that'll be next," which I often how I would do it. But hey, the best thing to do is observe.
Right.
I would say I'm essentially going to teach you a new language. It's an entirely new fitness realm that you're about to enter, the best thing you can do is show up on Wednesday evening for our elements class. It's free. I want you to show up. I'll be there. I'll take your hand like your tour guide through Mexico, and I'm going to teach you Spanish. It's not going to be Spanish, but it's going to be fitness Spanish. You don't know what an AMRAP and EMOM or any of these things are, but you will. And my goal in the next 3 years is that you can teach it to your friends, and you can take it with you for life. That's what I would tell people. And they'd be like, you're insane?
Yeah.
Or they'd be in.
Yeah. I mean, when people come to my gym, we put them through, foundations and things like that. And so I just tell them, I give them a very dumbed down version of what we do. And then I tell them, don't worry, you're going to learn everything before we go into it. But again, that's very different than sport. So,
which is why I would really like to know. Froning does a good job of just like letting people hang. He asks him a question, throws me the softball. I beat him up a little bit, I think.
Right.
But I wish he was like, what do you tell these people? Like, what do you do? What is it that you do, Will?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I would say if I were him. I'd probably go into a background of what I used to do, and then now I kind of run fitness competitions.
You went to an Ivy League high school?
I mean, I'm saying like
$90,000 tuition.
Yeah, I'm saying that like
I learned CrossFit before Greg Glassman did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I would say I would probably go into my competitive fitness background and describe that, and then just say, now I run those events that are very similar to it. That's what I would say.
It's crazy that it'd still be like CrossFit without saying it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Not saying I agree with it. I'm just saying if I were him, that's probably, he's not going to listen to me anyway. So
He wouldn't. He won't listen to anybody. He has his core group of people that he's going to listen to.
Yeah.
He made that abundantly clear.
And listen, like when I was with the WFP affiliate and they came and like, I think they're like super nice people. They're not like, I have nothing bad to say about them. I just think that they have a hard road if they're going to do something that's already been done and just try to mirror exactly what it is.
That's what you led with.
I know. I know.
Good luck, guys. How's Liz doing?
She's good. Yeah.
Fit?
She's pretty fit right now. Yeah.
She know what event she's going to, how's she making the games, all that stuff?
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah. So, I mean,
because no one really knows, I don't think. I've asked that question to a bunch of people, no one knows. So I'm asking you if like you guys know.
I mean, we kind of planned it out because it gets stressful if you don't really know what event you're going to. I mean, there's Syndicate, there's NorCal, they're on the same weekend. You got the open, and then you got quarterfinals, and then you got the online semis, and then so pretty much we just went through and eliminated events that didn't make sense season and training wise, and then just kind of landed on kind of the similar route we tried last year,
which is
get through the open, quarterfinals, semis, syndicate, games.
Syndicate's the path.
Syndicate's the path.
And then
because the only other path would be NorCal or French Throwdown.
Oh boy, is there a qualifier for that? She do it?
Yeah, but we didn't do that.
So how would she go?
She wouldn't. I'm saying that would be the path. Like that's why these are the discussions that were had. Got
it. No World Fitness Project.
She might do the World Fitness Project.
Traitor.
I mean, she might do that.
Hey, she might win it at this point. I hear there's no women signed up.
I haven't looked.
She doesn't got to take down Laura. I don't know. I heard Laura's not even signing up.
I haven't paid that much attention to it, but she might do because it's in Indy, so it's 15 minutes away from us, 20 minutes. So she might do that. She might jump in. I don't know about the full season. She's not going to do that. We're not going to Mexico City.
Oh yeah, Indy's week 2.
Yeah,
I'll be going to that one too.
All right, see you there.
Yeah, see you there. I'll do a day in the life of Liz.
There you go.
Hanging out the weekend her victory lap at Indy.
Yeah.
I got 30 topics here for you.
I can't wait.
30.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Maybe some of them.
And the reason for these 30 are and this is why we did the first video. Number one, I want to talk about the World Fitness Project, which is oddly enough how we started this one as well. And you had been posting these hot takes.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of them for you from various videos that I've made.
Yeah, not mine.
These aren't yours. These are mine.
Good.
And I'm curious your opinion on my hot takes, because clearly I have my own opinion. So we'll just chop it up.
Let's go.
Roll through them. Yep. Number one, how do you feel about people who hold the level 1 to a high standard, the level 2, the level 3 coaching accreditations in CrossFit, but also poo-poo degrees at the college level? For example, I have a 4-year bachelor degree in exercise science, kinesiology. I understand that it's like, yeah, the best thing I took from that is I know where your brachialis is.
Right.
And I didn't have much coaching experience from it. But I think the same thing might be able to be said in relation to a lot of things in CrossFit level 1 trainers. So let me know your opinion on that.
I think from the perspective of CrossFit coaches, I think that when CrossFit started, we kind of drew a line in the sand and said, this is how we work out. And it was almost opposite from how everyone else worked out. And so I think that created this, we know what we're talking about and everyone else doesn't. And so the level 1 was obviously the methodology to talk about what we do. And then the level 2 was kind of their coaching or CrossFit's coaching style certification. And then the level 3 was, hey, let's see if you actually know fitness and test on it. I don't personally disagree with people that have certifications because there's a lot of time that goes into that and there's a lot of knowledge, not certifications, education, college, kinesiology, and then there's like some sports performance coaching certifications that people can get that you can only get if you go to college. And so those, I think, if you take CrossFit out of it, I think those might set a little bit higher than like a 2-day certification. So I don't disagree with you when it comes to that. But I think that I see where people in the CrossFit world are.
From the initial line in the sand.
That's the line in the sand that, like, if these are our certifications, this is how we think. And so you must think differently than we do, instead of trying to understand. Because some of the best coaches, I think, kind of intertwine both of them.
I was about to ask you, would you rather have a level 2 CrossFit trainer or someone with a CSCS who's been taking 6 months of CrossFit classes?
Probably the CSCS from a time perspective in the knowledge that they know.
I don't.
Or the time
that
doesn't
mean all that much to me, but I mean like taking person A to
Yeah.
point B. Like how do you you got people, you want to coach them. I'm looking for someone coaching classes, make that person fitter.
I know people that have it that got it because they kind of just like that was their next phase after college. And then I know people who have a level 2 who are extremely good coaches because they're very passionate about what they do. And then I know
that's not
really bad.
answering the questions though.
I don't think like one's better than the other.
What if I said level 3? Does that change anything?
I have a level 3, so I'm gonna say it.
And I don't, so I'm gonna say.
Are you? The level 3 was difficult in the aspect of there is no book and there's no thing that you have to, like, there's no study guide like a level 1 or a level 2 or going to school. There's just, you either know it or you don't. That's the only thing that's hard about it. If you coach CrossFit long enough, you can pass the level 3. But again, it's very CrossFit heavy. And I don't know that every level 2 coach could go out and train like a football specific
I don't know that
athlete.
a
I don't know.
CSCS could coach a football specific athlete.
I mean, I would agree with that for some of the ones that
I
I
think that's
know.
probably the major knock on all of it is that most people come out of academia can't coach anyone at all ever.
Right. Right. And I think on both sides there's lack of actually doing the thing, which is coaching. So like there's some people that take the level 1 and then the next thing 5 years later they take the level 2 and maybe they only coach a handful of classes. And then there's people that go straight out of college and then they still have not coached a single person and maybe through an internship or something, but they haven't like got the hours actually repping with athletes and talking to people. And so,
do you think Greg Glassman's a good coach? Like, do you think
I've never got coached by Greg Glassman.
Yeah, neither have I. I would love to watch him take somebody who's never done anything, who's like fully into it and, be bettering themselves and just like, hey, tell me what to do. I don't want to see him tell them what to do. And that'd be crazy.
You should go out there and make a video.
That's what Metfix should have done.
Yeah.
That would have gone bonkers. But the thing is, Greg don't care about Metfix, so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should go out there. Make a video of it. Metfix.
He would need to want to teach people how to do the push press again, which he doesn't.
Right.
Next question.
Okay.
I'm of the opinion that CrossFit should be a judgment zone. And what I mean by that is I think that the most important thing is, well, I shouldn't say that because it's absolute, but one of the most important things would be the whiteboard in a class, logging your scores. And there's just like this down trickle of when you put your name on the whiteboard, it assumes that you did the reps. It assumes that you followed the movement standards. And if you want to be becoming better, maybe you're even doing the things you should be doing outside of the gym, sleeping enough, eating properly. And if you're not doing those things and you're not writing your name on the board, you're not really leaving yourself up to judgment. I think that CrossFit should lean into we judge people. What do you think? We judge ourselves. We're afraid of the judgment from others.
I agree with you from an athlete or a coaching perspective. I would disagree from a business perspective. Like when it comes to what we do in CrossFit and measuring and standards, all that kind of stuff matters. Some people come in the gym and they don't necessarily want to be on the leaderboard, and so therefore you can't force someone to do that. And so from the business side of me,
man,
I'm
I would just argue that person, they ain't getting as fit as they could be.
I agree.
Because they got no external pressure.
I agree. But it's like
internal pressure even.
Right. I mean, I agree. From a competitive athlete standpoint, I think that they all need to be doing that. From a member who comes in who's never done CrossFit before, it's a very hard sell to tell people like, hey, when you get done, you're gonna write your name on the board next to everyone else. And a lot of people do. Like, we have a leaderboard and we use Beyond the Whiteboard, and a lot of people are on it. But if I told every single person that it's required, that's a hard sell. So
that wasn't the question. I don't care whether or not it's a hard sell. I just want to know whether or not you think it's let's use Will Moore as additive.
Are you comparing it to Planet Fitness? It's judgment zone?
Yes, it should be the opposite of Planet Fitness.
I agree with that. Okay, I agree with that.
And hey man, this is part of it's for anybody and not everybody. If you got people who aren't willing to give you $150 a month to get fitter, and I think this is one of the biggest things you can do to make people fitter. Like, don't eat that freaking milkshake, you fatty.
Maybe measuring is the better word than like
judging.
Judging.
Hell no, I judge people all day.
I know.
I am the judge, jury, executioner, Judge Dredd.
That's fine. I'll say we measure things, and you can say we judge people.
Okay.
That's fine.
The CrossFit Open is around the corner.
Yeah.
5 weeks or 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Because as a business guy.
Oh, are you saying? Oh, are you asking me? I thought you were like quizzing me on.
Oh no! It is 3 weeks, but which one is better? I'll just stop with that. It's loaded. Which one did you prefer? Which one's better?
Probably 3 weeks.
And why?
I take that back. I had this conversation with someone the other day because I liked the way it used to be with the like Central East and Central, and I liked how the Open mattered a little bit more, and they didn't split it up into quarterfinals. I don't mind the Open. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of the quarterfinals. just like
I prefer the quarterfinals to the no quarterfinals if there is still a 3-week open.
Correct. So I liked the fact that the open kind of had everything in it. You kind of see everything. So your everyday person could try things that they typically wouldn't.
Do people now realize that the quarterfinals are more stressful on the affiliates?
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest, like, hey guys, it's so much easier. It's only 3 weeks. It's like, no, dude.
Yeah,
it's another extra weekend with more workouts, more moving pieces, and they need separate hours.
Yeah. So from an affiliate standpoint, it's a little more work with the quarterfinals. But from a measurement standpoint, I liked having 5 weeks of the open because everyone got the true test.
Bingo.
I think everyone outside the elite athletes got a true test of how they were doing. Now people are getting a true test for just those 3 weeks, and the 25% or whatever are getting the test to move on to quarterfinals. So some of those athletes, maybe they're doing double unders, or maybe now that we're doing wall walks, where before we'd start off with ring muscle ups. Say good luck, right? But now we're probably moving that to
week 1?
Not week 1. I'm saying
week 3, I think, is the earliest we've seen a muscle up.
Yeah, but I'm saying like you would see that, but now I think they're saving a lot of that kind of stuff for quarterfinals.
I say that also knowing 23-1 had muscle ups, but it was at the end of that chipper.
Right.
Okay. I also say 5 weeks for the same reason you said measuring perspective.
Yeah, from the measuring perspective.
I think it's the easiest way to sell the open. Hey, you're going to run a mile. The mile is 5 weeks.
Yeah.
We know it that you can measure it against everybody else. Now it's like Cale Lehman finished his 5th. He finished 5th. So what does it mean for the remainder on a 3-week open where the top people aren't even taking it seriously?
Right.
It's a shell. It's a sham. It's crazy.
I actually had, so like you follow competitive CrossFit. I follow competitive CrossFit, but I heard a member in the gym talking to another member and just said like, hey, you should do the open. And they're like, oh, I can't do all these skills. And they said, oh, don't worry, it's only 3 weeks. They wait till the quarterfinals. And this is someone who like doesn't really follow much. They're just like, hey, like wall walks are like one of the hardest things you're going to see, but you're not going to see all the fancy stuff that other people do. They keep the hard stuff for the quarterfinals. This was just like a blank perspective from someone who's done CrossFit, but they've only done CrossFit for like 3 years. So all they know is the open's just the easy part of it. And then everyone else moves on to quarterfinals.
Dude.
But that's just from like someone that doesn't know
much. I understand. The thing is, like, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's like a really good take.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Because I when I'm talking to people about the open, I'm trying to explain to them what it is. And then, sometimes it kind of trickles in what it used to be. And you try to bring the excitement.
Say like how much I despise the wall walk. Like, I hate that you used it as the example, but it's still like a good example.
Yeah, that's. Why do you hate the wall walk?
Because it's been beaten to a bloody pulp.
Yeah,
There's just too many wall walks.
Yeah.
Like, I was looking through my programming from 2016, and I'd have them in there maybe like once a month, which I think is, I don't know, more than any other program I'd seen back then. But now every program is like once every 10 days.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Or more. Once a week, once every 7.
Yeah.
And then hey, I asked this on a video I put up today. If you see the wall walk, wouldn't you say that for every time you see a wall walk, you should also see ring dip?
I mean, yeah.
And it's not 1-to-1, and I'm not talking like movement patterns and like, hey, you're pressing overhead in theory, and maybe it's a handstand walk substitution, but how sparsely do you see the ring dip program these days?
Right. Very few.
Freaking never.
Yeah.
And like, it's a great movement.
Yeah.
And quite easy to scale.
Right.
So why is it that we never see the ring dip? But
Probably.
we always see the wall walk.
I think just
dude, it's insane.
I think because I think when people start programming things, they start programming it based on what they think they're going to see in the open.
And so then backwards.
Right. But I think that that's the way that people probably think. And so then, therefore, when the open comes, they can show all of their people like, hey, see, you improved. And that's not necessarily the case. But I also think that...
Woof, does that hurt?
Yeah. Plus, it's also easier to teach a class full of 20 people a wall walk than it is to to take someone and try to teach 20 people like handstand walk progressions. Like you can. It's just if people are programming, they're probably like, let's do the wall walk. It gets people upside down. It gets them excited. They're moving on their hands.
The wall walks get no one excited anymore.
But it's also the opposite direction of a handstand walk. But I don't know what your hot take was on that. But
oh, it was just in relation to the CrossFit Open. That was a pivot.
Okay.
We're on number 4 right now. Well, we got a ways to go.
That's fine.
Individualized programming is useless for 99% of people who use it. I say this
I know
because I think that when you go on your own, you're missing maybe the shame proponent, the judgment zone proponent, the external push from doing something right next to one another. And I just want to know whether or not you agree with this, because I believe that it's useless for 99% of people who use it.
I mean, coming from someone who does individualized programming, I agree to a certain extent. I think that people will progress faster if they're alongside other people, and then there becomes a point where some things need to be individualized. Like people hit weaknesses. 99% of the people
talking about?
The top 1%. That's why you said 99%. Because you think 1% of the people should have individualized.
Sorry, I should make this more clear. I'm talking of, let's say every person I'm speaking of is doing individualized programming. So let's say that in the world, let's say Don Falls right, and there's 30 million people who do CrossFit.
Yep.
And let's say 100,000 of them are following workout-specific things for themselves. 100,000 of them. I would say 99,000 of them should not be, and it's useless. And for 1,000, those people probably need it. Those are probably also, conveniently enough, the 1,000 that are in contention for the top 100 to 200 spots at the quarterfinals. Maybe you're working with some of them.
Correct. I think that I think some people that do individualized programming, they might go to a gym that isn't going to allow them to see the results that they need. And so therefore, working out with that class, let's say someone wants to get a little bit better and compete at like a local level, the general population programming of just generalized CrossFit day-to-day stuff probably isn't going to get them there. And so if that's what that gym does, then now all of a sudden you have someone contact you that says, hey, I need individualized programming, because they need a little more work on specific things that the gym's not going to give them. So they might not see their goals based on what that gym is going to give them. Now, you might program for a gym, and you're like, well, if everyone's doing this program, they should progress fast enough. But not all programs out there, I think, are going to progress everyone.
So you kind of made a tangent or a pivot to saying the gyms are incompetent programmers.
Essentially, yeah.
Following poor programming.
Yeah, I think that...
Correct? No?
Following poor programming or delivering poor programming, I would say. And so therefore people start looking elsewhere for something, and instead of following like a generalized competitive program or something that's giving them a little bit more, they just go the individual route, because then they have someone they can communicate with. Like I have athletes that do individualized programming that probably aren't going to make it to the semifinal level, but they're progressing faster than if they were to participate in their gym's everyday programming, because they need to get better at skills and things like that, and they need to get better at ring dips. And if
and all they're doing are wall walks.
And all they're doing are wall walks. Or like, do you see what I'm saying? So if everyone followed the same program, I would agree with you. I don't think that everyone needs individualized programming the majority of the time, but sometimes people are in scenarios to where it could be a gym-related thing. Now, like Liz, for example, she does individualized programming, but there's also some workouts that we do in class where I say like, hey, jump in with class, because classes have specialized people in them.
I'll tell you what, you got a perfect scenario because you write hers and the gyms.
Right.
And you can just say, hey, these are lining up.
Correct. So I see like what she's doing, and then
That's
I see
perfect.
I see what the gym's doing. And so I'll do it when there's specialized people in class. For example, like if there's a running workout, there's people at our gym who are very good at running that are going to do really well in a specific workout, and she needs pushed just like if she were in a competition. But that doesn't mean that those people are going to make it to semifinals. They're just really good at running. Or like they're really good at high rocks. And so if there's a high
what
rock
a useless talent that is.
I know, just,
That'll be irrelevant in 2 years.
Right.
And then Hunter will find a new sport. All right. So I think what we landed on there is it's important for a very select few, which would be that 1% I referenced potentially. And also for a lot of the others, maybe it's because they're in a situation where they're at, if they were to follow what everyone else is doing, they would halt their own progress.
correct.
Okay. I kind of like that answer.
And that doesn't necessarily mean they need to do individualized programming. They could do a generic, like, big program, that has competitive style programming, but they don't have any communication with someone. So they might pay an extra $50 or $75 on top of what they normally would pay to.
We've talked about this one, I think, you and I.
All right.
How do you feel? And this is a new topic, but it's an extension of this topic. How do you feel about people who, and I'm guilty of this as well, Rich Froning releases What's Rich Doing, and I'm in. And I did it. I did all of it. This is maybe 2015.
Right.
And it was like, damn, that's a lot. And I stopped and I went back to doing everything with all my people. Very similar to how Liz does. How do you feel about people just blindly jumping in on Proven because it's Tia, and HWPO because it's Matt, and Mayhem because it's Rich?
I mean, like, I pay for Proven.
And?
I mean, as an affiliate.
Yeah.
Because they have multiple tracks. Like, they've got Olympic lifting, gymnastics. I'm not trying to promote them right now.
Sounds like you are.
I know. I'm just saying that they have multiple
Nick
tracks.
Johnston.
Yeah. It's just no, they have all these tracks that allow burn and things like that. They allow different things. Now, the people that just jump on it, I think it's because Proven, HWPO, Mayhem, it's because they're curious about what the top athletes are doing. And I don't necessarily think that that's actually what the top athletes are doing.
It's not at all.
Yeah, so I don't think that the top I know some top athletes that do programming, and they might send exactly what they're doing to athletes, but it's very few. And I don't think that I don't think Shane is sending out exactly what Tia is doing while she's competing at the games. The exact thing that she is doing to everyone else. I could be wrong.
I think that the Mayhem people might be the closest. You see Jorge, Austin, Haley all doing the compete track workout from X day.
Or so are they doing the same thing in the back room at Mayhem? Are they doing the same thing that the people in California are doing on the competitive track?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
When Rich Froning was winning the CrossFit Games.
Oh no.
Right.
But no one is.
Right. So it's
just me.
Well, it just came so I think that people are well, if they know what it takes to make it to the CrossFit Games, then obviously they're onto something. They create a lot of good athletes. And so I don't know. I think Shane does a really good job for Tia. And so everyone's all right, what's what are they doing?
I've heard Shane's a really good coach.
I would probably agree.
Yeah. I've heard he's a really, really good coach. All right, next one.
I mean, I haven't got coached by him, but I'm sure he is. And I think he's a really good coach because he's
Who do you think's a better coach, Shane or Greg Glassman?
I would probably go with Shane.
Damn.
I think that, yeah, I don't know.
I think That's crazy. You said that quick. You didn't even think. What makes you think that?
From like a competitive coaching side, he's taken an athlete or his wife from just an everyday person to winning the CrossFit Games that many times. He wasn't given Tia. Like, Tia wasn't...
How do we know that?
I don't know that. I just
Okay.
made that up. But I'm assuming that Tia wasn't fit enough when she got started. I'm sure...
Oh, I meant the giving part. Like, you how do you know it wasn't given to you?
Oh.
Like, here you go.
No.
Make her a cyborg.
No, I mean, like...
You can marry her, too. That's fine. First things first.
No.
7 CrossFit Games.
Yeah. No, I think that wherever she started, he's pretty much taken her from an everyday person to winning the CrossFit Games that many times. And obviously she has a big portion to do with that, but he didn't win the CrossFit Games. So she didn't go to him and say, hey, how do I win the CrossFit Games? He helped her win the CrossFit Games. There's a big difference.
How do you feel about coaches who will work up, and I'm guilty of this as well, most famously likely on Saturday mornings? I would have an entire group of people come in at like 8:30, 9 a.m. and just hammer themselves. There's a competitive class from 9 to 11. And then there's an 11 o'clock class where the entire gym would come in and throw down. I'd have like 20 to 40 people on Saturday mornings. What I was guilty of was working out until like 10:59 and then coaching. All right, guys, lap around the building. How do you feel about that?
It's not ideal.
I would.
I mean, from it's like it's not ideal. It's not like the best. You're not delivering the best service for people that are paying.
How dare you? How do you know?
I know, but
maybe I meant my best. All the endorphins.
But I
are
think
flowing.
I think everyone is guilty at some point of doing that. Like, I'm guilty of it. Other people are guilty of it.
But we're supposed to be professionalizing the coach.
Right.
Is this what? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want a doctor going from open heart surgery into the next consultation?
Yeah.
It's all bloody.
Now, if it's like 15 minutes after class and they're like, which I haven't done that, but like, I think that a lot of people, or maybe I just have a little more forgiveness because people have other jobs, and most people that are coaching are part-time coaches. So maybe they have to get in for, they get there at 10, they have to coach at 11, and they're trying to get in a quick workout. They thought the workout was going to take them 15 minutes and it ends up taking them 21 and so then like all of a sudden, like the timing that they thought was going to happen. I'm not making excuses. I'm just
kind of making excuses.
Trying to.
Hey, here's the deal.
No, I don't agree with it.
I think that CrossFit gyms were probably I don't know what the word is, potent or there's like an accelerant on them almost. They're opening up everywhere. And I think a lot of the appeal to it was people being that bought in, right? And I would rather take myself on that Saturday morning over the person who's like, all right, and they're wearing their like super special outfit.
Yeah.
And they're taking themselves way too seriously. I think that if you were to like choose one, you would choose the person who's bought into the whole system and just loves doing it over the person who's taking it all too seriously.
I agree with that.
So while I don't think it's great, I would still prefer it over stick up the butt coach.
Yeah, like
for everything.
Yeah, like from a professional overlooking the business standpoint, trying to professionalize everything, which I think a lot of CrossFit gyms have lacked some professionalism over the years. I think, sure.
Hey, I'm saying the
like
gym is open. Like, it's not, dude, I heard a story the other day about a guy who switched gyms because he went to his 6 a.m. class, like he does every single day, and the owner of the gym had the gym locked up, and it was like 6:02, 6:03, 6:04, and everyone's out there in their cars. We're in Chicago. It's like 0 out, right, at this point in the morning. And there's like 10, 15 cars in the parking lot waiting for the doors to open.
Right.
And so the guy's car is there, so they go knock on the door. Like, hey, can you let us in? It's like, it's time, no?
Yeah.
And guy comes out, just starts freaking out on him. the owner who's coaching that class.
Right.
Like, can you? And all I'm saying is, 10:59 is better than that.
Oh, for sure. I think that happens more than you think too.
What, the 6 a.m. version?
Yeah, like I think that like
You're kidding. I couldn't believe it when I heard that.
I just
I'm
like
"Are
I've
you
heard
kidding?"
horror stories before of just like things like that happening, and yeah.
Like,
I mean,
what's
so,
your
like,
best example?
A guy like this is bad, but like a guy told me that the owners of his gym were like pretty much smoking weed in the back of the
At what hour?
gym, like right before they coach class, like so like as everyone's coming in which yeah, which like I mean there's like a time and a place, I guess, but that's probably not the time. And so
when you mean time and place, you mean removed from coaching.
yeah, like someone just told me
Preferably probably at night when you're done with it.
yeah, like this is I mean the guy just told me this like a month ago, but it's probably the same gym you're talking about. I'm just joking.
That would be wicked.
No.
Small world.
Yeah. But
Damn.
it was like a drop in that came in, and he was telling me about it and how he was moving gyms and this is why. And
Yeah, I don't blame him.
yeah.
Coach seems really sleepy today. He's just he's barely even talking. Okay. Hybrid athletes are just CrossFitters who can't snatch. True or false?
I mean, I like to snatch, so I'll agree with you.
So you're not a hybrid athlete, you're a CrossFitter.
Yeah, like I'm a CrossFitter. I like to snatch though.
Yeah. And I wouldn't put that as like the absolute, but it's the idea that certain things are off limits because hybrid athletes we lift heavy, we run far, we run fast. That's kind of how I see a hybrid.
Are you saying a hybrid athlete is like a HYROX athlete?
No.
Like when
strictly hybrid. They're in their own realm.
Like a hybrid is just someone different. Like
Correct. Hybrid is basically like bodybuilding. Like it's got its own thing. And then there's HYROX, which is its own thing.
right.
So you don't even know what a hybrid athlete is. So it's a poor
Well, I
question.
mean, like a hybrid would mean like you're combining multiple different.
I told you what a
things
hybrid athlete is. We run far, we run fast, we lift heavy, we look good.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
But what I'm trying to say is like the differentiator is CrossFitters snatch, and they take into account like actual function to a degree, and hybrid athletes, But if you don't know what they are, it's a poor question. I'm assuming you've heard of them before, hybrid athletes.
Like people call themselves hybrid.
Legit, they call themselves hybrid
I
athletes.
figured you were just talking about HYROX.
Oh, what do you do? I'm a hybrid athlete. Serious.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Damn.
All right, we'll go to the next
Well,
one.
we have HYROX at our gym.
Yeah,
and
not HYROX.
I know, but HYROX made us change our name on Instagram. They're like, you can't have HYROX in your
Yeah?
I
I thought you paid for that.
That's what we thought. So we made the HYROX name.
Yeah.
And so we got a message, and they're like, "Hey, you can't do this." So I was like, "Well, what are we gonna call it?" So it's 9 degrees. It's 9 degrees hybrid. I swear to God. That's right.
No. The thing is, like, hybrid athletes are probably really good at HYROX. They're not as good as CrossFitters because you see CrossFitters smoke it. Interesting.
Yeah. So when I think of hybrid, I think of HYROX, but
I'm telling you
maybe
that they're their own thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I mean it's not that it's fine; it's fact.
Yeah.
Like, it's an.
Well, now I'm gonna have to look it up because I have an Instagram.
Like, there's this dude called the something goose, the hybrid goose, and he I just roasted him the other day for not locking out a deadlift before he did a mile run under 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the whole thing. They lift, and it's not like in the time domain. It's literally like, you got a good squat, bench, deadlift, bro. What's your 5K, bro? Oh, nice. You're a decent hybrid athlete, bro.
Yeah.
Right? I don't even know if they take into account swimming. I know that like Nick Bear is the champion for hybrid athletes. You know that guy?
I don't.
Son of a.
I know.
All right, next question. HYROX athletes are basically CrossFitters who don't like short, intense, non-running tests. True or false?
Say that again.
HYROX athletes are essentially people who are opposed or don't like short, intense, and non-running type workouts. because a High Rocks workout is long, a running workout. I'm essentially picking on Hunter with this one.
That's fine. I think that High Rocks is just an event, and that's what, like, High Rocks isn't like a style of workout. It's not a style of working out. At least to me, it's an event. I know. I think that, like, if people say, like, I'm a High Rocks athlete, or like I do High Rocks,
but you can't stop people from they actually say that they do.
Right, and I think but it's just like one event that they're doing, and so then they're training for that specific. It's like a mini marathon. They're training for that. Not that they dislike.
So what do marathon runners call themselves?
Runners.
High Rocksers.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure. What do you think Hunter calls himself?
I don't know. He tried the CrossFit Games, I think, but he's not a CrossFit Games athlete.
He is.
I don't know, like, what.
He got a free ticket. He's a CrossFit Games athlete.
I don't know.
Well, I guess all right. My original question is, do you think that High Rocks people would? It would be like saying, "Hey, I would be skinny." I don't know, obese person.
Yeah.
I would be skinny, but salads are stupid. It's like, no, salads aren't stupid. You prefer ice cream.
Right.
CrossFit is stupid. Brr. It's like, no, it's not stupid. You just don't like going really hard, doing things like Fran, or you're incapable of doing butterfly pull-ups, so they're stupid.
I think that CrossFit takes a lot longer to get good at certain things, and so then the learning curve is much higher. Or the learning curve is much greater in CrossFit to be good at CrossFit. And so it's much easier to be good at High Rocks. And so I think that...
No, I think it's just easier to do it in general.
What, High Rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just show up and waddle your, like, Sporty Beth as a, like, 2:30 High Rocks time. It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, and so, like...
2 hours. Yeah?
No, but, like, she can do it, and then other people can get under an hour, and I think that might be what's appealing to people. Not that I don't know that the High Rocks people are against CrossFit necessarily. I think some of them are, but I think that most people just lean towards doing that for the same reason that people go to Orange Theory.
You've been doing CrossFit for a long time, like 2012, right? Ish.
Yeah, like literally that's been my entire adult life.
Tell me
almost.
if you recall the wave of CrossFitters who just went Olympic lifting. It was like 2015. I feel like every CrossFitter that's like, yeah, know what? This hurts.
Right.
I don't like the intensity. Now, they didn't say that.
Right.
But they're like, I'm going to do Olympic weightlifting. And then they all pivoted, and then they were all doing that. And now a lot of those people, they're like, oh, you know what? Once they found out they're no good at Olympic weightlifting and they can't compete. Oh, I made nationals, but like, what does that mean? Nothing. Yeah. Now they're doing jiu-jitsu.
Right. Right. I think the people, that was a wave.
Uh-huh.
Of
And
people
I
that
think it's similar with High Rocks. I think there's just like weightlifting, a jiu-jitsu thing to do where maybe they think they can make it.
I think the people that kind of went Olympic weightlifting, the Olympic weightlifting was kind of something that they learned and they could progressively get better at, and so they enjoyed that one aspect of CrossFit. And so then, for the same reason that High Rocks people don't want to do CrossFit, like they don't want to snatch, they don't want to clean and jerk, they don't want to learn a muscle up. The people that went Olympic lifting, they're like, I kind of want to get better at this.
That you?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's me?
I think so.
Damn, that's annoying.
So I don't know that the High Rocks people necessarily, I think they just don't want to do CrossFit because the learning curve is so great. Like there's so many things about it that it's easier for them to just be good at High Rocks or just to physically do a High Rocks. It's just easier.
This is my favorite question for everybody.
Yeah.
And you got to bear a little experience. How is the belt-driven assault bike comparatively to the Echo bike?
Is that why you had me sit on it for 5 minutes to see?
Yeah. 'Cause I was curious. I want to know.
I told you earlier I liked how I was positioned, but I'm really short. So
Really
I don't
short. How tall are you?
like 5'4".
You're not 5'4".
Yeah, I'm like 5'5" with lifters on.
I mean, I think you're wrong, but
I think I'm
you're like 5'7",
maybe on my license.
bro. All right. Anyway, you like the way you're positioned better as somebody who's 5'7".
Sure.
All right. I literally just want people to understand that they're as hard as an Echo bike. And I'm gonna put every single person who comes through here onto that thing. I'm gonna like, tell me how easy or hard it is relative to the Echo bike.
I don't know that it's harder, but it is hard. But it's smoother than my only experience was the Assault.
I don't care
whatever
about the chain driven Assault bike.
Those were bad.
I want belt Assault, the Assault Pro versus Echo, which is different than the Assault Elite, which you should know. Assault Elite is hot garbage.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like it was
It's
smooth.
like driving a 1970s Cadillac.
Yeah, it was smooth like an Echo bike. I don't know, like, is the fan smaller? Is it bigger? Like, the wattage was way higher.
Also, not the question I'm asking. I want to know how it felt.
I mean, I thought it felt good.
Nice.
I
Next
just-
question.
Okay.
All right, non-fitness related. You're rolling through Instagram, and you notice someone has their likes turned off. What's your first thought?
That they don't want feedback from the community, and they don't want to hear what people really have to say.
Okay, that's a nice way of saying what I think. I think they're cowards.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with everything you said, by the way. I have it written in here. It's one of my opinions. It's like you're a coward if you turn off your likes. Hey, dude, I have this whole thing, and it's usually, oddly enough, on brand posts. Hey, by the way, this is sponsored by Gorilla Mind, this podcast.
Yeah, I've had it pointed out the whole time for you.
How is it?
It's good.
Good, right?
Yeah.
The black cherry vanilla is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any of those right now.
Oh, okay.
I drank them all. Just great. But anyway, I think they're cowards. It'd be like if I put up a Gorilla Mind post because I was afraid that my lack of effort for the product was going to result in poor performance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hide it. So you're a coward.
I turned my comments off on a post once.
Why and what was it?
When I did my 75 hard,
Why did you turn off comments?
because everyone was just gonna congratulate me for doing something.
All right, well, that doesn't make you a coward.
Right.
Like,
But I'm saying that was like last year, so I turned them off because the purpose of me showing my before and after from doing just a challenge was not to get like, oh, nice job, way to go. It was more to like show people like, hey, if you just dedicate a couple months of your life to something, you can actually like see results.
You realize that you showed less people what was possible as a result of you turning off the comments, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Instagram sees people in the comments like on a post, and they're like, "We're gonna show this post to more people."
Right.
So
I'm just playing devil's advocate
I
on why
understand.
I turned
and
it off.
it was a good point.
Yeah.
Like it's a fair point. You weren't a coward, and
All
you
right.
did turn those
That's
off.
fine.
Okay. I'm gonna skip that one. If you're comfortable during all of your workouts, you're likely not doing CrossFit.
Well, I mean, I would agree.
Okay.
I don't think you need to be uncomfortable every day, but
Like
You need to
handstand
get-
skill practice. That might not be terribly hard for somebody.
it would be hard for others.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people get in different phases of wherever they're at in CrossFit to where they get comfortable.
And like I got another one here that goes into the 40-minute EMOM. I think that they've been bastardized into like a filler work. Just kind of it's like the next version of Froning doing 8 workouts a day. So you're just basically overcoming maybe missing something with volume. And also like doing volume was important, right? Because you need to be able to have the muscles fire enough times to do the work that would necessitate the CrossFit Games champion. But I think the 40-minute EMOM is basically an out to sweat. You know, like you could have a perfectly programmed day where you're doing Nancy.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not just Nancy for you because it'd be easy at 95 pounds. Or maybe it's not. Nancy's kind of a son of a...
Right.
But people will like shy away from Nancy and lean into the 40-minute EMOM because it's maybe easier. They feel like they did something more work when all you had to do was
Are
run
you
your
saying like
400s.
just because like the length of time that they're doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do a 40-minute EMOM, I think there needs to be some sort of like purpose behind it. And it might be it doesn't have to be a hard EMOM.
What if the purpose is there is no purpose and they just want to sweat? Does that count as purpose?
Not in like the competitive side of CrossFit, I don't think.
I heard about, it was on a podcast, Hopper, talking about how he went to Fraser's house at one point, and I think he said it was either Mal or Katrin were there doing one of these workouts with him, and they essentially made it undoable, and they were trying to figure out like who would fail first. I think it was Mal, because Mal didn't fail, and Hopper like completely crapped out at one point.
Right.
But I think that is how they're supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Like just, all right, minute 1, 25 cal echo bike. Minute 2, 30 GHD sit-ups. And you're like, that's a lot of work to do in a minute.
Right.
And you were going to go through like 8 different iterations of the 8th minute is rest. So it's 7 possible minutes and a 1-minute rest. And you're basically trying to find the threshold.
Yeah, I think that's what EMOMs are used for a lot of times. At least that's how I use them.
And,
to like
and
find
I don't think people do that.
Is to find what the threshold is
Mm-hmm.
and to see, because then you start understanding the timing of each athlete.
Dude, most people will do it like 10 cal row, 12 air squat, minute 2.
Oh, no.
14 sit up, minute 3.
I mean, maybe for like a general population workout, like on a day that's supposed to be lighter.
Well,
maybe.
You're already telling me that it's almost besides the point. Just do like, I don't know. I think that that was why I said it's been bastardized.
So would you rather
you explain
do
the bastardization?
I know, but would you rather like on a light day? Would you do like 5 rounds of? If you do 5 rounds, what was the example you gave? Row
10, 12, 14 row
10
air squat sit up.
Okay. If you do 5 rounds, let's say 10 rounds of that for time, that's a completely different workout than if you just did it in an EMOM.
I would say 10 rounds not for time.
Yeah, but like but still, I mean, you'd say 10 rounds not for time, but then people are still going.
I would remove
people that don't really know.
Hey, dude, here's a better example. If I said go do DT, there's one way to do it, right? Like you're not taking DT easy.
Right, but if you put DT not for time, people are still
no one does that. That's the point.
Correct, right.
No one does that.
Right.
The 40-minute EMOM is meant to be head bashing, soul crushing, but no one does it like that.
Right.
The reason I would have the way that I would write that workout, 10 rounds for time, just to call it 20s across the board. Row cal, sit up. That's a lot of work, by the way. Too much work. But let's say it was appropriate. I would go like 2 minutes on, 1 minute off. 1 minute on, 2 minutes off.
Yeah.
Because it's different. And you should understand what the 40-minute EMOM is.
So you think the only way in 40-minute EMOM should be is just
threshold, find your place.
Yeah.
Not filling for the sake of filling. Oh, hey, we show up to the gym, we're going to play F we're just going to mess around.
Right.
So,
I mean, you can also find the threshold on, let's say, a skill movement for that too. Like if you're doing
it with that, but also why does it have to be 40 minutes?
It doesn't have to be 40 minutes. You can do 27 minutes.
40 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't always do 40 minutes, but I'll do 27 to 35 a lot.
All right, next question.
Okay.
You had a member walk in.
Oh, boy.
And their biceps hurt. Your biceps hurt. And they're like, hey, I got this essential oil for you. What do you think? Rub the essential oil on your bicep to fix it. They got it from their local.
Are they asking me, or are they?
No, they're giving it to you
to promote
for
my bicep.
For your bicep.
I mean, I'd probably steer. I do some research on it,
and then they go from that and they said, hey, I heard that bicep pain comes from having red 40. You shouldn't be drinking that Gatorade.
Yeah. And then they're trying to sell me on the...
No, they're not selling you on anything.
No?
It's just like a core belief. What do you think?
I'd listen to them.
You would?
I'd listen to them. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't apply it to life.
Probably want to apply it to life.
You wouldn't go forth and tell another member, you know what? I put this tea tree oil on my bicep,
Yeah, I don't think so.
and I haven't had Gatorade in 48 hours, and my biceps feel better.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right.
That's not.
1 week later, member comes in, same one, and they're telling you about how they'd been on a bachelorette weekend, and they were just trashed. And then you're like, damn, that's like the 8th one in a row. What's your thought about this individual who's recommending oils and removal of red dye 40 while also drinking every single weekend?
I probably wouldn't take them very seriously as as an athlete, but also they're not like coaching me. So I think when you have a bunch of members in the gym, they all kind of have their opinion, and or they might have read something or seen something on Instagram.
They want to lose weight, look better naked, and they're now saying that your gym is the reason that their progress isn't being had.
That doesn't happen. No, I'm just
I'm like, that's crazy.
No.
Good for you.
Yeah, no. No, unless I see what they're eating and on a regular basis, and that's why I tell them, like, track your feed for.
No, I told you they're drinking every weekend.
Oh, I know they are. Yeah, we know they are. Okay. Like, I mean, you can tell. I mean, you can pretty much tell what people are doing. If they're not seeing results, you can kind of tell.
How do you feel about a crazy abusive steroid user advocating for not doing CrossFit because their time would be better spent bodybuilding and distance running to accomplish the same goals? Their time is better spent working on their aerobics in one session and their muscle building in a separate session.
Okay.
Meanwhile, they sit there like a giant gorilla that just went through a nuclear war. Their face is all swollen up and crazy.
What do I think about that person?
Yeah. You think that they're all similar to the tea tree oil, red dye, 40 alcohol drinking participant of your gym?
Do
you see any connections there?
Yeah, there's connections. I mean,
I think there are.
Yeah, there's connections and like excuses and what, like how they're actually seeing results or not seeing results. But people that use steroids, I feel like there's
I use steroids.
I know.
Yeah. Careful.
Yeah.
I got roid rage.
Yeah.
And this is a small table.
Yeah. I think that people that use steroids still have to put in a little bit of work.
No.
Like, I mean, more than what most would think. You don't just take steroids and eat donuts and see results.
If I had donuts, I'd get fat.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, there's still some sort of aspect of work.
That's why I take Red at True Tide. So
yeah. Yeah. So, like, there's still like work that has to be done. When people don't see results, it's from work that isn't done. The people that take steroids, like, and look a certain way, there's work that still puts them to look a certain way. People that don't see results, it's from not working.
You know what's crazy about that is it's really genetic. It's a lot genetic.
You think?
Because you're saying that, and there are certainly people out there who will take steroids and they will look better than you could freaking imagine. And you look at them and you think there's a lot of work being put in, and it's like, meh.
I mean, like, they're still doing something, maybe, right? Do you know anyone that takes steroids that...
Yes.
That does nothing?
And they look better than you or I.
Really?
Yeah.
You should make a podcast or a video about that.
All right.
And that guy.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I wonder if they would start talking about it. Okay. How do you feel about the athlete just came out? What's your onboarding process?
Like with a new person?
Mm-hmm.
My wife takes them through personal training sessions before they ever go into class. So they come in and...
How long? How many?
3 1 hour, and then there's another that's like a half hour, and then we push them into class.
Okay.
So it's just one-on-one, though. Like, no one else is in the class.
All right. So it's like a couple weeks max.
max.
Okay. So week 3 or 4, you see that same member?
Yeah.
And they got weightlifting shoes on. What do you think?
It happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
I don't.
I want to know what you think.
It depends on why they got the weightlifting shoes.
Good answer. Let's
You
assume their friend just said get them.
That's why it happens. That's why I'm saying, like, so like we have a class on Saturdays that we only lift, and if people show up to that class and they see everyone where they have, Olympic weightlifting shoes, then everyone gets Olympic weightlifting shoes.
Yeah, and how
sometimes
do you feel about that? You cool with it?
I mean,
it's not your money, like World Fitness Project. Like, why are we talking about it? It's not our money.
I mean, I don't mind it, but I do explain to people like why some people have Olympic weightlifting shoes and why some people don't. So why some people need them and some people don't.
So it just gives you an avenue to talk about it like we are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do people need them?
Typically, the biggest reason that I see is like ankle flexibility. And so, and they're more stable when you're actually doing the lifts, but I know people that get in better positions with just regular shoes because they have the flexibility in their ankles to actually sit.
Do you think that it might be detrimental to their longevity? Having thrown on a weightlifting shoe 4 weeks into their squatting livelihood.
Sure, it's like a crutch.
That's all, yeah. And I guess that's part of the conversation, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a crutch to, and that's why some people, they kind of work out of weightlifting shoes in the CrossFit world.
Do you wear them?
Sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, why? You don't?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I think the last time I wore weightlifting shoes was and I don't know this for sure. I'd have to look through my camera roll. But in the quarterfinals of 2021, there was a 4-rep max front squat.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I throw them in.
I wore them.
Or I throw them on, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the last time I wore them. Still wouldn't squat very heavy.
I mean, there's people that when they put on weightlifting shoes, sometimes their pull from the floor is worse.
That's why I stopped wearing them.
Yeah,
specifically snatching.
Yeah, and it's mainly just coming from the floor. Everything is forward. That I see, because normally people
never heard this before, but I'm so happy you're saying it.
Yeah, that's just what I see because it puts everyone in a different position, and then
but
normally
Zach,
their catches.
My overhead position's so much better in the bottom, but you never get there.
Correct.
Because you can't pull it.
Yeah.
Because you're always forward. You always miss it forward.
Yeah, because it puts them in a worse position, which is why they're forward, and it's not necessarily their overhead squat. Why they're forward, it's typically
and relatively to everything else, the bar's pretty light.
Yeah, and it's typically just from the floor to the knees. But that's just
it's like lifting from an elevated position. Like a 25-pound plate under your feet.
Right.
People don't think about it though. They just think about the end result. But it starts from the floor.
Right.
I've never heard anyone else say that. All right, next one. I think that a lot of mentally tough people, quote unquote mentally tough, are actually mentally ill. And I think that it's kind of crazy that a lot of people will put them up on a pedestal and try to mimic them. It's like something to aspire to be.
Are you talking like David Goggins?
Exactly, like David Goggins. He's written right here, his name.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think that that dude is insane. And I think that it's crazy that people want to be anything like that guy. I appreciate when people find motivation from stuff like that. Like maybe it'll get them going in the morning. That's cool. That's different. But if you start doing David Goggins stuff, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that there's other things, we'll just call them sacrifices, that people have to make in order to be that type of person. And so I think that some people just sacrifice everything. Like he probably sacrifices everything to be who he is. Like there's other things, and so everything is mindset driven like that. I mean, I'm a big mindset guy, so I'm not like.
Do you think he runs fast? I don't even think he runs fast.
No, I think it's like the challenge, like doing hard shit all the time. I think that's what it is. I think he's just but in order to achieve some of the things, there has to be sacrifices along the way. I don't know.
I don't know what that's the part of it that's motivational.
That's the thing that people don't talk about. People are like, hey, if you want to run 100 miles, like,
You gotta let
he's
some
like,
stuff go to do it.
yeah, like quit being a bitch, go run 100 miles. But it's like, it's not like, hey, you need to sacrifice other things in your life because you need to go run 100 miles. I mean, that would take me forever. Like, if you're going to do something like that, there's other sacrifices that have to be.
I heard Sevon say the other day on his podcast that there's this guy named Michael who has, I believe it's the record for the fastest 1 mile weighted run of 100 pounds mile. Yeah. And I think it was like sub 6, 100-pound vest, sub 6 mile, I believe. And Stefan goes, people don't understand how impressive that is, because in order for me to do that, it would take a long time to move 100 pounds a mile. Like, that might be a full day effort.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you see the guy that went uphill on the skis?
I did.
Sub 6 mile?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think that's that impressive.
No? Why? Because you have skis that you're sliding on? Is that why?
Have you ever done that?
No.
So how do you know how hard it is?
It just, I'm just.
Like, I've seen that clip so many times.
Yeah, I posted it.
Maybe that's probably one of the spots I saw it, actually. And I'm just like, I don't know. And maybe it's really hard. Like, I'll be on a hill. I'll just be going backwards. Oh, I understand now. But like, until I've tried it, I'm like, it's just, he's sliding. Who knows how hard it is? For all we know, it could be like going on the ski rig and hanging onto a 150. It's like, it's kind of uncomfy. But like, I could do this for about 20, 30 minutes if I had to.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Okay. That's another.
What number are we on?
I'm just ad-libbing now.
That's good.
I'm just kind of skipping.
I just keep seeing you scroll down, and I was like,
"Oh, all right, we're getting to the back end of it." Okay, and I have some in here that are like this one. Athletes are on social media. They don't hate it, and I'm sure you've heard a bunch of it. And I wouldn't put Liz into this bucket, but I think Liz hates social media. And a lot of athletes I've heard say hate it, but I think more often than not they're just not good at it. And what I mean by that is to the same degree that a lot of people don't like working out. It's not that they don't like it, it's that they're not good at it and they're afraid of failing at it. And I think if athletes had success on social media, they would probably be more apt to say, "Oh, I love it." Just like they love working out. You follow?
Yeah. I think that it doesn't seem very authentic most of the time because they're not doing it for a specific purpose outside of followers and sponsorships. So like, it's not like they're not trying to connect with people, or they're not trying to. That's why they don't like it, because it doesn't feel authentic. So they're making videos because they feel like they have to, or they're setting up a camera in the corner while they're snatching with their sponsor on their shirt, and then they're gonna make a reel, and then it takes 30 minutes to try to put together a clip because they don't make YouTube videos.
They shouldn't even be working with those people in the first place then? Like, before I worked with these guys, I shut down another one because I didn't like it. And another one.
Right. But I'm saying that they would rather probably be in the gym and snatching and working out, and then they leave, but there's no like connection between the sponsors and money, and I mean, that's what it's for. Is for them. I get it. Like, for them to like connect.
Besides the point. I just want to know what you think about if they were successful at it. And let's say you got someone who gets 50 to 100 likes per post on a protein powder post.
Right.
What happens if all of a sudden they're getting 20,000? You don't think that they're more likely to do more of that because it's like a dopamine rush? It's more fulfilling, kind of like hitting a snatch PR.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, sure.
Maybe it's not really the answer I'm looking for. Maybe you haven't experienced quite enough people going through it, but we did just talk about powerlifters who were CrossFitters who turned into jiu-jitsuers.
Jiu-jitsuers.
You like that?
Yeah.
And now high rockers, you see. And I just think it's them looking for the thing that they'll be good at. And I think that when it comes to social media, it's just you're putting yourself so far out there and it's something so far removed from anything that they're like decent at that so many just don't do it at all. Or they say, I hate that. But hey, dude, there are massively obese people out there who crush hot dogs for a living. And yeah, they hate eating healthy too.
Yeah, but what's
I put them into the same camp.
what's being good on social media? Like, how do you measure that? Like, what's that look like?
That's a great freaking answer.
Because if someone said, like,
how do you measure being healthy and fit?
Well, you just it depends on the person, but you just kind of measure where they're at, and then they just start getting better. But like,
correct, same thing.
So like, sure, but you have like a body, you have like a body fat percentage, let's say, and someone's obese, and then you say like, hey, let's try to get you down to 20-25% first, and then let's see how you feel, and then let's get you down.
I guess all I'm saying is it's a similar border there, because like the fat person has to take the step to want to do it, and the so-called athlete I'm presenting has to take the step to say, hey, I want to get better and do it.
I think that's.
But they both could just say, no, I hate it.
Yeah.
And the fat person eats a salad sometimes, and the athlete.
I mean, I've talked about this before. Like I've talked about it with Liz before. It's just like what are you supposed to be posting? You know, like the
literally
idea.
anything. But maybe you have a thought. Sorry.
I mean, like you're trying to connect with people, but then posting a video of your snatch, your max snatch, like that's cool and motivating, and people want to see that. Or you could even say like, you could go the Red Bull route, where they never post their drink, right? They just post people flying through the air and doing cool shit that people want to actually see. Well, it's like, do you go that route, like the entertaining route, where you're snatching, you're doing muscle ups, and it's like highlight reels? Or do you go the other route where you're making bagels and walking your dog, and like what do people want to see? And
so Mal O'Brien does.
Oh, okay. So it's like, who do you want to like connect with? And then all of a sudden you also have to be good at the thing that you're doing. So if you're trying to connect in the CrossFit space, you have to be good at that. But then also you have to like show your dog and your outside life. And a lot of people don't want to share that. So then they're like, what do I share? And so then people are just like, screw it, I don't want to do it. I think that's what it is. Like,
why would I get skinny?
Like to feel better.
Why would you post on social media?
To connect with people, I think.
I think.
I mean,
there's
maybe
such
I look
a
at
negative connotation to social media, but I think you can look at everything two ways. It's like,
I mean, I've got a lot of people at my gym that were like, at the beginning of the year, like they're like, I'm getting off social media,
and they're back.
I don't know if they're back yet.
Yet.
Yeah,
I do like the yet. Do you have any interactions with agents? Not like the Matrix, but you know, the ones in CrossFit that work with the athletes.
No.
No.
A little bit, but not like
not like
one-on-one. Like I'm not talking to them.
Do you know how they operate? Do you know anything about it, or should I skip this question?
You can probably skip it.
All right.
I mean, I don't know what the question is.
I have the question as they're harming CrossFit. They're it's like taking a lemon and just like, it's like, oh, a lemonade, here you go. And then for the longest time, the example that Greg had given was growing the pie.
Right.
And CrossFit continuously taking 1% of it.
Yeah.
And just letting the system grow. And CrossFit, and when private equity came in, they essentially were like, oh, look, there's a huge ass pie here. I'm going to take 2, 3, hell, I want half of it. And then all of a sudden the whole thing shrunk.
Right. I think a lot of people are doing
I have
that.
a feeling that the agents have done the same thing with the athletes. And recently they talked about it with these with Red Bull, actually. You just said Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
And they're signing athletes like Jonakowski, who's on the tail end of his career. He's out, and like he's been a multi-year games athlete. He's a very good athlete, but he's not the representation you would think would be best for CrossFit. But there's an agent out there that likely got him that deal, probably fluffing him, presenting him in a different light.
Yeah, probably.
Like, this dude is the greatest CrossFitter to ever grace the planet. And in the meanwhile, Red Bull's like, why are we getting no return on investment from these CrossFitters?
Right.
So
yeah, maybe that's
the whole thing.
Maybe that's like from like a higher standpoint. Like the interactions that I've had have been like they're like the middleman between some sort of like this. They're like, hey, we'll send your athlete some of this stuff. They just need to post about it like once or twice a month and call it a day. And it's not like big deals like Red Bull. So I think they're just kind of like the middleman to help the athlete, and they're not really in it for the space.
And I guess there's really no one to blame for any of this. Like, everyone's just doing their job. It's like the job of an agent.
Right.
Why would the athletes not want the money? Like, they definitely want it. Like, if I'm Yodakoski, like, yeah, sure, give me that $150K.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people have been greedy in the whole CrossFit space, and then they just try to get as much of it as they can. I think a lot of people are that way.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
Putting their nuts away for winter.
Yeah.
CrossFit is not as functional as people think. Stop. Your turn. What do you think?
When done correctly, I think it can be pretty functional. I think there's some things that we threw in there that aren't functional. I think if anyone can do a snatch, they can do pretty much anything, but I don't know that everyone needs to snatch. I just like to snatch.
What do you mean by that? If you can do a snatch, you can do anything?
Well, like, I think it's just like one of the hardest things that you can teach a person to do.
If you throw a basketball, you can snatch. Maybe a full range of motion in the shoulder. Is that what
Well,
you
if you
mean?
can shoot a basket, like anyone can shoot a basketball, that
That's not
doesn't mean
true.
they're good at it. I think like holding a barbell above your head and then squatting all the way down, like in an overhead squat, is difficult for most people. And then now you take it from the ground and now you have to jump and then catch in that position. Is a very difficult thing to do. I don't know that my grandma needs to be doing that, but it'd be really cool if she could.
I actually put up a video today about how you don't need to overhead squat,
Ever.
but you need to know why you can't.
Right. There's a lot of people at my gym that don't overhead squat at all.
Because they're probably 50 years old and they haven't done it ever, and they can't do it.
Yeah, or it just doesn't align with what they need to be doing. There's other things that we could be doing besides holding a barbell above our head and squatting, but I think it's good. I think it's, like I said, if you can overhead squat, you can do just about anything.
Hey, man,
Or you can be taught to do anything.
I don't think anyone's a lost cause, but I do think that at a certain point, you're probably never going to overhead squat any significant amount of weight if you've never done it and you look like Quasimodo. You're just not. You know the dude from 300? The guy who has the shield and he was supposed to get murdered at birth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude. He doesn't look like he can put his arms over his head. He can't even raise his shield.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, so that dude, like, he's not overhead squatting. But I think it'd be a good idea to figure out why he can't. Like, that big old hump, we got to get rid of that hump.
I mean, I've had people that can't hold a barbell above their head or a PVC pipe, and it's all in front of them, and they've taken 6 months to 8 months and worked on it, and then they built up to snatch, I think, maybe 175.
That's pretty good.
Like, without ever holding a PVC pipe.
See,
Like,
they're not a lost cause.
yeah, but that's like one person that I can probably think of that. But he didn't need to. He just wanted to. And so and now he can do a lot more because he was able to. Because if we fix why he couldn't overhead squat, we can fix a lot of things. Because the reason he couldn't overhead squat was mobility issues and things like that, which affected a lot of other things.
My initial point on this was, like, it's not as functional as you think, which we went completely off topic.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
I never felt that more and resonated more with John Welborn. Are you familiar with John Welborn?
No.
He's a CrossFit football guy, and he I don't know why on earth he can't understand that I'm saying CrossFit gives you the definition of fitness. CrossFit will make you as fit as you freaking can be. You can do it in a hallway, and he has this thing about the whole, like, is it the transverse plane? Like, you need to be able to twist and turn. And,
Oh, yeah.
and like, CrossFit
Yeah,
doesn't
I know what
really
you're talking
have
about
very
now.
much of that.
Yeah.
And I understand that he's probably right with that, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying Jason Hopper won the CrossFit Games basically riding a bike in one spot because he can put out the most power on it. And he also ran back and forth and snatched in one spot, but it's like, it's wattage output over the course of various things and moving your body in space, and that equals fitness.
Right.
Right? Moving your body in external loads, whatever. But it's not as functional as you think. And this is where I give Wellborn a little bit of credit. Tyson goes, hey, run this route. And I have this thing about me running. It's like 3 steps forward, 1 step out. And I looked like a freaking, is it paraplegic?
Yeah.
Like my legs weren't working. And it's because I'm very good at moving in this plane and I'm very bad at moving in that plane. That's what I mean when I say it's not all that functional.
Would you say that's more athletic than functional?
I would say if I'd been training that athleticism or like functional different plane that maybe Wellborn might possibly be referencing, I'd be way better at running that route.
But do you think running that
athleticism is embedded in a person?
Yeah, do you think that running that route is functional?
Yes.
Like when it
yes.
Like does
absolutely.
Going back to my grandma, does she need to run that route?
I would say your grandma would probably be better suited running that route than doing a lot of other things.
Maybe.
I think it's good for her to have like aerobic capacity, sure. I think it's good that she can move long distances quickly, large loads, long distances quickly, but also like, hey dude, there's nothing more functional than evasive maneuvers.
Right. I mean,
look how the car is coming, Grandma, move.
I'm just picturing my grandma
run.
I'm just picturing my grandma running a football route.
It doesn't have to be a football route, but it's the idea of like, cutting out of the way or like not slipping on ice.
Yeah.
Like I would put those very similar.
Yeah.
Like reaction time and pivoting, and
I would say that that's one thing that we probably lack the most in CrossFit.
This is a long-winded way of me saying it's not as functional as people think.
Yeah, we don't have as much plyometrics and just lateral movement that you would see in sports.
I used to do a lot of warm-ups where it was just like shuffling back and forth.
Yeah, I used to do like the ladder drill a lot.
Ladder's good. Shuffling's good. There's a famous video of Froning doing the ladder on his hands.
Not as functional.
Not as functional. Absolutely. Okay. Got 3 more.
Okay.
I don't think we did 30. I wonder how many I skipped. We'll figure it out later.
We can go through all 30.
I don't know where they are at this point. I kind of just like scrolled and now we're at the end of the list. So we'll do this one. Are you an art guy or a science guy?
Probably an art guy. Yeah, for sure.
You're an art, and I asked that question. You gave me an answer, but I hadn't really defined it. Science, I think, is like this equals this equals this. Or at least that's what I think science should be. It should be more math than a lot of people let it be.
Are you science?
I am.
Okay.
But I always recognize that things like programming are often art.
Correct.
So what I'm trying to get to here is don't ram your programming down people's throat because you are so scientific about it. You have to be artistic with it to get them to accomplish the scientific goal.
Correct.
Now, I'm sure you've bumped into and probably maybe even been victim of yourself in reflection of your history. Like, you have to do this because it's this important. Science.
Yeah. I don't.
How do you feel about those people? Do you think it's in... I think we're in agreement that it's a little bit of both when you program.
It is. I just don't... the people doing it typically don't care. That's
the best thing you could have said. Damn.
Yeah. The people doing it typically don't care. And in their minds, they want to be doing different things all the time. And they just... like I'm an artistic guy, so that's why I like programming. And then I come up with creative ways to get the result that we need to see. And you see that by measuring it through whether it's competition or weights or whatever it is. And you come up with all different types of ways. And I think that's why I like programming CrossFit is because it's not it's not as linear as most programs. At least mine isn't. I see some people that go in like multiple cycles and things.
Steroid cycles, right?
Yeah, like cycles and strength cycles and things like that, and making it very like a 5-3-1 program's like a typical example. If people like don't have creativity when it comes to something, they just fall back on like a 5-3-1, and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna do a 5-3-1 like Windler cycle for.
Bro, you know German volume training, bro?
Yeah, like they do that kind of stuff, and it's not the best type, at least I don't think, for CrossFit when you're trying to get multiple different things. And that's why I like the programming aspect of it, because I'm more artistic. Scientifically, sometimes it doesn't make sense.
I think it goes for a lot of things. And I know we started off with a question similar to this about the level 1 versus the educational route of college. With the first question we went down.
Right.
I think that people become so defensive of the one thing at one point, and eventually over time, this is the Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
It's like you know something and you so wholeheartedly believe it to a point, and then you find out a little bit more and you're like, oh man, I was so wrong. I can't believe I rammed my programming down those people's throats so hard, because everything they were saying, they had a point, and your point was so good, they don't care.
Right. Now, I think that I've tried to defend it at times. When
Which
people
part?
just like when people question programming and things like that. Like
You have to have a defense.
sometimes you have to like defend yourself a little bit, and you have to. Some people want to know the reason why. 99% of the people just don't care. I would say that more people don't want to do, like when we're talking general population people, most people just want to come in, get a good workout, get coached, understand why they're doing it. Like more people hate when I program handstand walks or muscle ups. And they're like, why do I have to do this? Because it's not functional or whatever it is. Like, why am I going to need to do a muscle up? But then there's other groups of people that really want to learn how to do it. And
yeah. Every time I hear whether or not it's functional as an argument about whether or not you should be doing it,
right.
I shut it down.
Yeah, how so?
I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah, like, I think 8 years
Functional
ago,
is totally dependent upon the person. What were you going to say 8 years ago?
Like 8 years ago, I feel like I would have to try to defend myself a little bit more. Now, nowadays I don't. Every once in a while, people are just like, oh, what am I going to do instead of muscle ups? Instead of trying it, they just give me an alternative. At least that's what you see in the general population.
When I did a lot of personal training, it was basically, hey, tell me what you want. I'll tell you how to get what you want.
Yeah.
And then I would say that the people I'd worked with varied about like how able to listen they were to those things. Some people were all on board. They'd do whatever as hard as they could or as easy as I told them to at that point in time, right? There were some people that would be like, they would just lay off every time. And eventually you learn to just let it go.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain to them why, because you understand that the second that they're not into it,
Yeah.
why have them do it?
Right.
And then the important part to all this is you circle back.
Yeah.
Like eventually you're like, all right, I'm gonna let them have this one. It's like the choose your battles.
Right.
When you're married, like choose your battles.
Yeah.
It's like eventually I know that I'm doing this for the greater good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that.
Okay, they'll come around. I'll get them back to. I remember their goal on day one.
Yeah.
I remember that goal. And,
Right.
and if they don't want to squat snatch today,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, sure, but we're gonna do it next week.
Right.
We'll try again.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have to defend it that much. And like I said,
I stopped defending it.
Yeah, because
You're just
I'm more of like the artistic guy and you're the science guy. You feel like you need to defend it probably more than I do.
I don't defend it. I just let them go.
Yeah. Okay.
The long. It was a long journey. I'm on the Ben Bergeron route now.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
I know.
Absolutely not. All right. This is one of my favorite things. The best physique hierarchy. Tell me if you agree with it. The greatest physique. Sorry, let's start from the bottom. The worst physique, natural bodybuilding. If you're to take like a training route and you're going to go, hey, how do I want to get the best physique? The worst way to do so is via natural bodybuilding. The next best way, there's 4 of them, is to do steroids in bodybuilding. Okay. The next best thing you can do is to just do CrossFit. That's the second best option. The best option to have the best physique is to do CrossFit with steroids. Natural bodybuilding and steroids, CrossFit and steroids. What do you think? Agree or disagree? Would you move one? Have you seen it play out?
I haven't seen this play out.
I have.
I know you have.
Oh, yeah. More times than me.
I think that most people that do CrossFit, even in the sport, aren't necessarily doing it for the physique. They just happen to get the physique. And then you probably know more people that do competitive CrossFit and steroids than I do.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Probably more than, like, most.
Right.
I'll be at an event, people come up, dude, I tried this. It's amazing how many people open up once you have.
What, like at the CrossFit Games or?
Not like the people you'd be thinking of, but like everyone else.
Yeah. Like,
And you look at them and they got like this red skin tone. You're like, oh yeah, I know what you're going to say to me.
Yeah.
They're all excited.
So, I mean, I haven't had experience with people doing steroids in CrossFit. Maybe I have, but I can't disagree with you. I don't think. I want to, but I can't. I don't think.
And now physique is very up to the person.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
there aren't very many people that I'd rather look like than myself, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people like really think about that, but I'm like I really like this thing I sit in.
Yeah, that's good.
There have been different points in my life where I'm like, I wish my butt was bigger. But at the present day, I'm like, I kind of like what I got going with there.
Isn't this the smallest you've ever been?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I've wanted more cap delts when I was in bodybuilding. I think bodybuilding leads to like a little bit of male body dysmorphia.
Right.
I want my abs to be cut like this. And, but through CrossFit and steroids, my physique is the best it's been. And I wonder if it's a person-to-person thing. Like, I wonder what would happen if someone like a Arnold Schwarzenegger with his genetics predisposition, like his parents, what he would look like doing CrossFit and steroids.
Are you talking like general population CrossFit, or are you talking like
talking about every single person? Because you are a person who has a mom and a dad. You are a sperm that met an egg. There's the embryo. You popped out. Now, you, Zach, could have just done natural bodybuilding. You could have just done bodybuilding on steroids. You are a CrossFitter. This is what you got.
Right.
So in theory, with this model, you look better than those two other life paths you could have taken. And you only got one more option to look better if you wanted to. Like, pop some steroids.
Right.
Now, if it's true, Mr. Olympia of 7 years in a row, Bumstead,
Yeah.
if he was doing CrossFit, he would have just won more.
Now, are you saying, like, if you take CrossFit.com and steroids, that will get you the physique that you're wanting?
Oof.
Like, because
You'd have to follow the diet model. That's important.
so you're saying CrossFit.com, steroids, and your lean meats, nuts, and seeds.
Hell, this is
You know,
getting
like-
crazier.
So, like, because that is technically what, if you go back to CrossFit, like, that's CrossFit.
Mm-hmm.
We just continue to make it harder. And now we're talking about competitive CrossFit.
I do frequently say my training program is not CrossFit.
And so do you do, like, functional bodybuilding? Do you do, like, some conditioning, and then do you do bicep
No,
curls?
you can't do that.
Do you do bent over rows?
No.
You don't do any of that?
You do CrossFit.
So,
It's functional bodybuilding, CrossFit.
no, I'm just asking, like,
Half kneeling, upside down kettlebell presses from a half
yeah, like, do you do, like,
degree angle. Like, no,
like, do
it's
you,
not
like,
CrossFit.
ride the assault bike, and then later you'll do accessory work and do, like, bicep curls and Arnold presses, and, like, are you doing that type of stuff?
It's
Are
a
you doing
great defining
shrugs?
of the terms that we're playing with here, and I would say all of a sudden this throws the whole thing on its head.
Yeah.
And I do think that
Because then you're kind of mixing a little bit of bodybuilding and a little bit of CrossFit
here's
and a little bit of
you know
steroids.
Frank Zane,
Who?
a very good bodybuilder, and people would say that he's got like one of the greatest physiques of all time.
Yeah, I gotta get out more.
Frank Zane. Yeah, you don't know anyone I bring up. You knew Goggins. I didn't even tell you about Goggins.
Yeah.
He's very aesthetic.
Okay.
Cap shoulders, cut as hell, not that tall, great mustache, good head of hair, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Yep.
Skinny, not
Yeah.
big, maybe like $160.
Yeah.
Shredded. I think that a lot of people just don't want to look like Ronnie Coleman. So I
No.
think when this best physique thing comes into mind, Like super bodybuilding is just like, we don't care.
Right.
Like I don't know. Or like the chick bodybuilders that juice themselves out of their mind, right? It's like they're doing it so they have as much muscle mass as they can get, but all of a sudden, like no one's gonna say they have the best physique.
Right.
I'll give a woman CrossFitter a little bit of Anavar, and you're like, damn.
Do you know a lot of women CrossFitters on Anavar?
I know a good number of women CrossFitters who have used a little bit of Anavar.
Yeah. Do you know who they are?
Yes.
You should do a podcast on that too.
They'd have to be wanting to talk about it. Oh, you know what that means? One more question. I knew we had this one on here. CrossFit gyms aren't worth what owners think they are. Oftentimes, you're just selling a job plus the depreciated equipment. Agree or disagree?
I agree.
CrossFit gyms aren't worth what the owners think they are.
No, I think that owners put too much emphasis on the emotional attachment that they have to the work that they've put in, and they think that equates to a dollar amount, and it doesn't.
Imagine building a sandcastle on the beach out of like whale crap and semen, like whale sperm.
Yeah, that's a terrible analogy.
It's like, this is the biggest sandcastle ever. How much are you going to give me for it? It's like, what does that smell?
Yeah, I think that, I mean, you can take your members and they're worth whatever someone thinks they're worth, and then you take the equipment, and equipment has a value to it, and then the person that owns the gym, that's a big portion of it. So, you know, if someone were to sell the gym, the owner's probably worth more than, they're putting a lot of value in themselves and the work that they've put in. And if they're gone, someone might not put as much value to that. And a bank for sure does not put any value to any of that, because at the end of the day, it's just a piece of paper. It's on a piece of paper, and there's no like emotional attachment to the purchase of something.
I think that if the owner is involved, which all of them are almost,
right?
Like, what are there, 9,000 affiliates left? I would say that a very large, like a heavily disproportionate portion have the owners involved. It probably takes off at minimum 50%, if not as much of 90% of what the gym is worth. The heavier you are in involvement, the more.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that,
to the extent of like, if your gym somehow is worth $100,000, which it's what, 3 years of profit?
Yeah,
that's
I
like
think
what the value of a gym or like a business is generally worth.
Yeah.
So let's say you profited $30,000 a year, $100,000.
Right.
Owner is just there every single day.
Right.
It's worth like $10,000-$20,000.
Correct.
Because when he leaves, they leave. And also, like, on top of the $10,000-$20,000, it's equipment.
Yeah. I think.
How much is your equipment worth? And also, when you've done your taxes every year, did you depreciate that? You probably have.
Right.
How much? Okay, so it's not worth anything.
Yeah. I think
that rower's worth $10.
And this is probably a totally separate podcast completely, but I think that that's why like there's a lot of like mentorship type programs and a lot of people that are trying to help out affiliates now because they see a hole in the space. And they're like, these affiliate owners aren't doing very good, so let's try to help them out.
Well, it's not that they're not necessarily not doing well. You think they're not doing well?
I mean, I don't know. Like,
you're probably right. Yeah, they're not doing well.
Like doing well, as in like, do you make a living doing this? Do you have a second job? Like, if someone's selling a gym and they're living off a second job, like, well, then the gym's just a hobby. You know what I mean? So like, there's very few people I think that make a living doing the thing, which is CrossFit, and so I think that a lot of people are trying to help affiliate owners make that their sole income, and I think people struggle with that, and then they are like, oh, I have all these members and I want to sell the gym, and it's not worth what they think it is.
And they make it worth more how?
Because of their, like I said before, like their emotional attachment to it, like the work they've put in, their relationships with people.
How do they actually make it worth more?
Oh, like the people?
Yeah, like if I wanted to sell this for $5 instead of $2, number one, the best thing I can do is probably make less of them. Like there's no Red Bull, there's no Monster. It's like this is the drink.
That, and then I
could also put like better ingredients in it. Maybe I don't know.
I think that a lot of people got into the space because they're passionate about coaching, and then they just open up a gym, and then they realize that they're not a very good business person, and so therefore, I think some of these people come in and kind of help them create systems, and like I know
so that's how you make it worth more. The system.
Well, like you need to be able to replicate. Like if I were to sell my business to you, you need to be able to walk into my place without me there.
No.
And I need to be able.
I'd have to be able to continue the revenue without doing anything.
Correct. So like it needs to be replicated. And so if someone were to take
without you,
so if like I were to sell my gym to you, you need to be able to come in and nothing changes. And I think too many gyms rely on the affiliate owner. They're coaching, they're doing management, they're doing payroll, they're doing taxes, they're programming, they're doing everything. And so if people come in and there's systems in place and there's people in these positions, then that's going to make the company, I think, worth more, as long as the dollar amount goes up.
This is funny. People have followed like my Instagram. This is where you would have seen it. Yeah. My old affiliate went under. So I was co-owner of it from 15 to 20.
Yeah.
21-ish. I don't remember. I was at 2021 messed up because the pandemic and all that, but it was around then, like 6 years. And I sold my stake in it. And I just started personal training, and eventually I started the YouTube thing, and now we're here.
Right.
Up until that point, there was a point where the thing was for sale, right? The number that was asked for me to buy that thing was insane. I don't believe I'm actually even allowed to say it because I signed something saying I'm not allowed to say the number.
Right.
However, my counter offer was what I knew the equipment was worth. Just literally that.
Yeah.
It's no shock that the gym went under. No one paid the extreme amount of money.
Right.
And when I say extreme, I mean like house money. You can buy a house with that amount of money. And lo and behold, just parted out the equipment, and that's what it was worth, which is what I wanted to pay for it.
Right.
And I don't think many people realize that that's basically all it's worth. Parts.
I would say 99% of the gyms are probably that way.
Worth parts.
Yeah.
Damn, it's crazy. It's like going to a junkyard.
You
think about that?
I just think that
I'm going to sell my old Toyota. Like, what are you going to give me for this thing? It's done me so good. It's got 250,000 miles. This thing runs like a champ. Oh, we'll give you money for parts.
Well, I mean, I think it's just because of the model and the way that the affiliate model is set up, the barrier to entry is so low so that anyone can do it. And so then someone could have a side hustle doing a CrossFit gym, and then they're not running it like a full business. They're just running it for a place for them and their friends to work out, and therefore it's never going to be worth anything. So I think that that's created this.
It's never going to be worth anything.
I mean,
a lot of them go out of business.
Yeah, like a lot of gyms have gone out of business. I mean, just around me, there's been a ton of gyms that go out of business, and that's what it is. Like the barrier to entry is so low compared to like a commercial style gym, to where people just aren't prepared to run a full-blown facility.
There have been 2 or 3 times in the past 2 or 3 years where I've wanted to open up another gym.
Yeah, and you probably could.
Yeah?
I mean, you could, and there's plenty of people that do it.
Yeah?
And
no, I definitely could.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people that do it.
Yeah, and there's plenty of people that make money, and there's plenty of people that make a living doing it. And, I mean, this is all I've done since I was 22, living off of it. So there's people that can do it. I just don't think the majority of the people are going to.
And you're into it, right? Still? You like it?
Yeah.
Everything? Yeah.
Yeah. So
this whole talk about it being insane and never be able to sell it, like why you're not wanting to sell it, and it's providing and has provided for you and the wife, and
Yeah, I think that.
It's still like a good thing
Yeah, it's still a
for
good
people
thing,
like you. It's
and
it's a good option.
Yeah, and I think that it can be a good option. I think that people just don't treat it like most people. I'm not saying most. I think that most people are passionate about helping people, and that doesn't always translate to running a good business. And so therefore they're passionate, and then they have a really good group of people that they work out with, and they have a fun gym. But a fun gym with your small community of people does not equate to being able to sell it long term and have an exit plan.
That's the conundrum.
Yeah.
The conundrum is one of, oh my God, you just summarized it so well. And you've done that a couple of times. The freaking, you're passionate about helping people, and because you're so passionate about helping people, you do what I did when I started, which is how do I get as many people for as cheap as you can, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do if you want to run a good business.
Right.
It's how much can I charge people while they still show up.
Right. Yeah. And you have to separate business, and you have to separate your emotional attachment to what you think you're worth. You're only worth what people are going to pay for. And so sometimes people don't want to charge what they should charge. So they undercut themselves, like you said. They get a bunch of people, and then they can never grow.
My whole life changed the second I told someone I did not want to train them.
Right.
I did not.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right, it's $125 an hour. And without even blinking, they're like, all right, when do we start? And I'm like, how many days a week?
Right.
They're like 6. And I'm like,
yeah.
You mean that's my coaching salary in 6 hours?
Yeah.
Not 80 hours?
Right.
All right. And so that's what you said, yeah.
Yeah, people just, because they're passionate about helping people, that's what it is. And then they don't even think I need to run a business or payroll or taxes there's just so much to it that people, and then they just get comfortable, and they're like, you know what, I'm okay with just my 65 to 70 people in my little gym.
That's probably the way to go. So I think it's kind of how it was intended. I'm pretty sure, and I
it's not the best model to grow and live off of, but it's a good model to spread the word of CrossFit.
What? Which one? Which one is that? The small gym?
Well, if you want to spread this methodology of CrossFit, then charge $500 for an affiliate for the year. Tell everyone after they're level 1 that they can open up a gym. So anyone with a couple grand can get a barbell and some plates, and then go spread it to the world. We don't care how good of a coach you are. Just go and spread the methodology, and then we'll just figure it out along the way. And then,
how do you feel about the level 4? This will be the last one.
I don't have it.
No, they just came out with it again.
I know. I'm on the wait list.
So you're going to get it. You want it.
Well, if I get off the wait list.
Is there a where you're at on that thing? You're going to a restaurant. It's like, you're number 4 in line.
I don't have a number. I just got put on the wait list.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I like to know where I was in line.
Well, because I have my level 3 and my continuing ed is coming up, and I was like, well, do I take a couple more courses to finish that out, or do I just take my level 4?
Level 4.
So then
how much does that cost? Level 4?
$1,500.
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't know all that entails, but I think it's a long process.
I wonder how many spots they opened up for that.
I don't know. You probably have a better connection than I do.
Probably 5 spots.
You think?
You're probably number 6 on the list.
No way. No, they probably posted that in every level 3 probably. I don't know.
You think
maybe.
so?
I don't know. There's not that.
You know what? I do think that once you get to level 3, you probably want 4. So you're probably right. A lot of the level 3s probably wanted it.
I don't know. It
level 2 is necessary to have your affiliate.
Yeah.
Level 3 isn't necessary for anything.
Right.
But if you have level 3, you probably want level 4.
Yeah, I think it's just bragging rights. All the seminar staff, most of them are level 3s.
Or they're old school level 4s.
Right.
You just claim it. through seniority.
Right.
You got anything else you want to throw on this thing?
I don't.
You're good?
Yeah, I don't know.
I got no idea how long it was, probably about 2 hours.
I have no idea.
Lights went out in the background.
Yeah, however long those last.
I think about 2 hours. Yeah, now I'm thinking, how do I make sure those things don't go out? Got to run a wire to the ceiling, little USB chargers.
Turn that light on.
Oh, we wouldn't want that. That would throw off the whole ambiance.
Really?
Yeah. How is it down here?
It's good.
It's decent, right?
Yeah.
The dog likes it down here.
Yeah. I didn't even notice the dog.
I noticed someone there upstairs barking.
Oh, really?
You didn't?
No, I think like once, but
Okay. Thank you, Zach.
yeah, for sure.